Hi, everybody. It's Alessandro from Innovate with Impact, hashtag Small Relief. I'm here today with Jurgita. Hi, Jurgita.
Hi.
Thank you so much for taking the time. You are the founder of an impressive startup that I've been following and using in the past called Naughty Linen, a super cool brand. And if you don't mind, quickly introduce yourself and your brand.
So I'm Jurgita. I'm an architect. I'm as well a partner of Floridia Creative, a creative graphic studio where we do graphic design and development, and as well owner of Naughty Linen. So what we do on Naughty Linen, it's e-commerce business, and we do 100% European wash linen bedding, custom made for our customers. So whatever size you need, whatever color you need, we do it for you. This custom made service is free, and in 3 weeks you have it all made in Europe delivered to you. So that's Naughty Linen.
And like I said it before, I say it again. We have it at home and we love it. It's super comfortable and it's a really nice material and it feels super cozy. Definitely sleep really well.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. Happy to hear that.
At least, definitely one happy customer. I'm sure there are many. So tell me a little bit more, please. How has the coronavirus situation affected your business and what's been going on? Has it been very difficult for you guys? Have there been new opportunities? What's been happening?
So, for me, first of all, it was a big surprise that it was such a surprise for so many people. Because let me tell you a little story. In December, this 2019, we were thinking to buy a quite expensive piece of machinery. And my brother, who is living in Asia and who is not economist and really just a guy living in Asia doing his thing, suddenly he reached out to us and said, look, maybe you want to kind of put it on hold a little bit and think about it because, just for your information, here in Asia, things don't look really good. Companies are stopped, stock market is really down, everything is on lockdown, all the factories cannot operate. So he kind of put this idea in our head. He said, look, maybe you want just to wait a little bit and see how it's going on in Europe, because it's a possibility that will hit Europe as well. Europe is going to be next. So what is really surprising for me, thanks God we put this machinery on hold, so we listened to my little brother's advice. So that the big companies, they seems to be called completely off guard, and they should be watching this global economy and what's going on, and they were completely, seems at least, unprepared. I understand small and medium businesses, we are more involved in the business, running the business, so we don't keep an eye on everything, on the global issues, what's going on. But it was really surprising to me that it was just complete shock to people. Even it's been going on since December, and somehow we could maybe not wait for such a big impact, but we could expect something to happen, right? Mm-hmm. So speaking about Naughty Linen, so of course people are uncertain in this time. They don't know if they have job, they don't have job, then job will be reduced, the salary they receive. So that you can see in buying behavior. Of course, sales cycle got much longer, so that requires more energy because people don't make decisions that quick. As well, people are buying less. If before people would buy 2 sets without thinking too much, I like it, I just take it, really not overthinking. Now they would buy smaller. They will start smaller. They will buy 1 piece maybe. And then if they like it, they will order another one. So I would say from this side, you see that people are a little bit more uncertain and conscious about making purchases. Mm-hmm. As well, we have online stores. So it's e-commerce business. But we still offer to our client possibility to meet us. If you are buying bedding, you want maybe to come over if we have a studio in Zurich, and we will have multiple of these meetings every week. Now, since 5 weeks, we have no meetings of clients, so completely this business is cut off. As well, we had some hospitality deals in process. We really were dealing with some hotels, and I think this business is completely shut down, and I don't see, to be honest, it recovering really soon. So that's been just off completely out of the question. Another thing, I think, for small and medium-sized business, that issue that we all know, it's cash flow, right? Mm-hmm. Spring is usually the busiest season for us. We order a huge stock. We were preparing to sell really a lot. And our suppliers needs to be paid, our employees needs to be paid. We didn't fire anybody. but the cash flow, it's something that, you know, you have to think about, and it's hard to navigate. So we are lucky we managed to do it, but of course that is something pretty tricky, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the main things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, and, you know, thank you so much for sharing this, because this is exactly the message that I think is important to be shared and also to be heard by people. Essentially, this is how this whole interview series started. We need to bring exposure to small and medium-sized businesses. I still think to this day, there's obviously support out there, but there could be more. And I think it's about creating awareness, and it's about creating opportunities for businesses just like yours to be seen and to be heard, because you guys are doing an amazing job. You're producing an amazing product, and, you know, people will enjoy it in the future. And of course, just right now is a little bit is a difficult time, of course. But that doesn't mean that, you know, people should not, you know, reach out to you or support you or get in contact with you, and your product will be there in the long run. So I think this is a really important message.
Exactly.
So what's next for Naughty Linen? I mean, in this difficult time, have you made any changes to your business strategy, or is there anything that you know, what are your next steps?
So we, from the beginning, you know, we are e-commerce brand, but we never wanted to really stay only e-commerce. So from very early on, we made this decision. We want to see our customer. So we invite them to our studio as well when we can, and when the orders are placed in Zurich, we deliver them in person whenever we have the possibility, because we said, look, we want to meet our customer, we want to see who they are, we want to bond with them. And this one, it's like a huge impact for our business, because we are so much closer to our clients. So we kind of form these relationships that in times like this, you can imagine, is super important. So as soon as this COVID crisis hit, what we did, of course, we reached out to our customers, the closest clients that became friends, mentors, and really examples. So we reached out to them. We asked, just, you know, from human side, how are you doing? Are you fine? Is everything good? We hope things gets better soon. So I think as a small business, you have to take this kind of strength and really utilize it. Because if you think, when was the last time Globus called you and said, hey, Alessandro, how are you doing? Are you fine? Can we do something for you? You know, because we are really there for you. Just let us know if there is something. We're really here for support you, and let's keep all together, and let's keep happy. So that was the strength of our business. And customers were really impressed by this, because I think it's not usual practice. People don't do that. So they really appreciate it. You know, we got so many personal messages, and people even bought. So some customers purchased as well, or they gave us referrals. That's a very important thing as well. You know, they really recommended us to friends, family, colleagues. And one thing I would say this to other brands or services out there: if you ask for referral, make it easy for your customer to share it. Because, you know, people are busy. They don't have time to send emails. They have kids at home. They are working, you know, they are having so many issues. So we put processes in place to make referral really, really easy. And people are happy to share. They're already clients. They know the product. So if you make it easy for them, they will share, and they will bring new customers. Another thing we did, we had many prospects and leads that, you know, maybe never bought, but they showed interest. So we really pick up the phone and call them. It's not the time to email them. You know, people are now drowning in email. Just pick up the phone and call them and ask what you can do for them. You know, are they still interested? Just understand where are they standing, because in this periods like this, you have to go after the sale. It's not just that you sit there and you wait that customer come to you. You really have to take a big action, and you have to accommodate them. So people, you know, you are buying bedding online, right? And always our practice was, okay, we want to send you swatches. So what is swatches? I have here a sample. I will show you. This is swatches. So that's a small color sample that we will send for free at your home, so that you can see the colors and your lightening and everything. You can feel comfortable buying this thing online. But in times like this, people cannot come to meet us. So we said, look, if you want, we will send you pillowcases. Just tell us the color, how many colors you want, which models you want. It's additional expense for us, of course. But I mean, if customer wants it, we will send it. So they really can explore it and touch it and see it at home, and can be very comfortable making purchases. Another thing we did, of course, we were planning marketing campaigns, but as soon COVID comes, you cannot launch your campaign that you planned 3 months before. It's not really, it doesn't feel right. So we had to rethink everything, and posting just cute images was not an option for us. So we said, okay, let's connect with our people and give them tips how to survive this period, because I don't believe in watching Netflix and being couch potato is not the best. So let's make it useful for them so that they are really engaged. So that was our marketing kind of thinking behind it, and people showed really positive engagement. Another thing that we did, we had this great campaign. In fact, you see the picture just behind me with Regula Rost, our photographer. And Regula usually shoots campaigns for huge clients, billboards, like she works with Post and so on. So she could never, ever find time to maybe work with a small brand like ours. And we could never afford to work with her, let's be honest. But in periods like this, she had some availability. I pitched her the project. She really loved the idea. We did this shoot together. We had lots of fun. And, suddenly we have this amazing pictures that look like an art piece. So we were able then to pitch them to magazines. So Tages&Zeiger wrote about us, NZZ wrote about us, many other magazines are gonna write about us. So you really have to see, people have more availability and maybe there is potential collaboration. As well, we explore some unconventional marketing like TikTok. So keep an eye, something cool is coming on TikTok. As well, whenever we deliver our packages, we have our delivery guy wearing a pink hat. And we said, look, in Switzerland, people still can go out on the street. There are not a lot of people, but there are people. So when you carry a package to a customer, don't carry one, carry 10 boxes or 15 boxes. So suddenly you have this guy with pink hat carrying 15 boxes of naughty linen. You can imagine. So few people on the street, people notice it. They really pay attention. They really get curious. So that's like all the other marketing ideas that we are trying out. As well, some kind of gray zone marketing that I can't really talk a lot about. We didn't break any rules, but I think in periods like this, you have to think out of box and you can push a little bit the boundaries, you know what I mean? And status quo are broken, people are a little bit more open. So you really have to think out of the box and try something inconvenient and see if it gives results. So that have been some strategies that we tried and I see working.
You just brought up so many points that are super essential. And I really hope that a lot of people out there in the startup community, also in the small, medium size and large business will, listen to, because there is so much value in, I don't even know where to start, but there's so much value in all the things that you just mentioned. I think really essential, and this is a common thread that I keep seeing, is we are all humans. And in the end, right now is the time to focus on humanity. Right now is the time to help each other out and be there for each other. And it's really interesting what you said before, also in the sense that what I keep seeing also with the startups that are thriving right now, even though potentially they shouldn't even be right now, but they're doing some things right in the sense that they care for each other. And what I also see very often is that it's kind of like David and Goliath situation, right? So you are, a small business and you have been building and you are, pushing forward and you are, doing everything you can to raise your business, and you're smart because you're thinking about the customer. And when you start thinking about the customer, and when you're super creative, you have a lot of value to bring also to your business partners. So what I see happening all the time now is that, small businesses start helping out larger businesses and they strengthen the connections. And before you know it, this lockdown is going to be over and you're going to get so much more business and potential because you were there present the entire time.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I'm convinced with you guys because you have an amazing product. You have amazing leadership and you're pushing forward and you're doing everything that you can. So I'm sure we'll see a lot of more pink hats and boxes walking around Zurich very, very soon.
That's the goal.
So that leads me to my last question. What's the first thing you're going to be doing once you get out of lockdown?
So before thinking what's the first thing, I still wanted to give some advice for the businesses that, are in this situation that you said, because these are things that we tried. but there is much more opportunities that I see. And for example, one thing that I would suggest to explore to other businesses, it's talent pool out there right now, right? Because unfortunately, people will be losing jobs and there will be lots of talent available. That was maybe not an option before, to hire somebody so talented to join your team. In fact, we hired somebody and we are extremely happy. And, you know, maybe before we could not have this possibility. So it is unfortunate, but from other side, you can, you know, really form strong partnerships. And this is as well what you said, to collaborate with other companies, right? If you have this brand, or let's say this photographer we had, or some other creative person that you wanted to collaborate, now is the time to reach out, because suddenly they have this opening. They, you know, they look as well for some innovative other ideas, and they are ready maybe to do something different with you. So just reach out and really, you know, kind of try to pitch your idea, because they might say yes, and then you can do something cool together. One more thing I wanted to say, I'm very jealous for people that they start business in this period, because I see just so many opportunities and even possibilities to buy businesses right now. Because let's be honest, some businesses are closing and some assets needs to be liquidated. So if you are thinking to start something, why not to look into buying a business? You know, starting something from zero. I don't know if I would do that again, to be honest. You know, I would just buy something, because that saves you so much time. And now that price tag, it should be just really affordable, you know, so it's really worth to look into that kind of possibilities. And that reminds me this story, you know, you would always dream about some fancy car that you wanted, right? So you dream about Ferrari, but you cannot afford a Ferrari. And suddenly one day your dealer calls you and say, look, today we have a discount on Ferrari, 50%. What would you say? You say, oh, hell yes, finally I can afford this Ferrari, you know, why not take it? But when this happens to stock market, or when this happens to advertising is super cheap now, right? Suddenly people stop buying, and this I don't understand as well. You know, advertising was never cheap as now. If you want that billboard, or if you want that Google ads, just really look into it, because it's so affordable. So, and it could be a great push for your business, because the competition is sleeping, you know, so you have to take kind of action in your hands and really do it. And just to leave with one more idea, a couple of days ago, I read this article about Giorgio Armani, because Armani, he said, you know, I don't want to do longer business like it is. I really, I don't want to give up for pressure of my industry. I want to change things from now on. I don't want to produce summer clothes in the middle of winter, and suddenly in the winter after Christmas, you buy little summer dresses. This is not okay. This is not normal. And in this period, I think the leaders are really born, you know, people that really stand up and they make them statement. They really make them values very, very clear, because people are looking for this leadership and they are really looking for this strong statement. So now is the time really to stand up and say for what you're standing up, and make it very, very clear. Even if it's uncomfortable.
Words of a true entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, also, you know, everything that you have said is so valuable and essential. And, you know, listening to what you're talking about, obviously you are an entrepreneur at heart. You are a true entrepreneur. And like I said in the very beginning, I'm convinced you guys are going to go very, very far with Naughty Linen and are going to be very successful. And I cannot wait to see what's in store for you.
Thanks a lot, Sandra.
Of course. Back to my last question. What's the last thing you'll do once you get out of lockdown?
I will go to hairdresser. They will have a lot of business.
Of course.
I hope they're ready. I hope they are really making the best of this opportunity, because I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm telling you. I think they will be, that's going to be crowded.
You know what's funny? I've been interviewing, you know, men and women, and I keep hearing the same thing from men. A couple of days ago, I had an interview with a guy, and he told me this is the last video interview he's going to be giving, because afterwards his hair is going to be out of control.
Yeah, I really hope that they will utilize this opportunity, because it's gonna be, once they're open, they are gonna be busy.
Gonna be, again, opportunities, right?
Exactly.
So, Jurgita, thank you so much for your time. Obviously, we'll share this on social media, and many, many more successful years to you and Nautilinen. And we look forward to seeing you when we get out of this lockdown situation. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much. Thanks, Alessandro. Bye.
Have a great day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye bye.